Hi fantasy managers, welcome to FPL Team Talks. In this video I'm going to go through my revised draft for a free hit for game week 25. If you missed the last one, there's going to be a few changes to this one, so you don't have to go and look at it. So if you enjoy these sort of videos, give it a like, don't forget to subscribe, and let's take a look. Firstly then, let's have a look at some of the reasons why you might want to be free hitting in game week 25. It may be that you've just got a number of players that are out injured, you're carrying over maybe someone like Reece James who might not be nailed on, players in the Man City side getting rotated, we don't know if KDB will be about either, so you might not want to transfer some of those players out. We know that Brighton have a couple of doubles coming up. You don't have enough transfers to bring him out again for this fixture to get an 11 out. It may be also that just with double game weeks coming up, and I know a few people that do have a heavy Trippier, Rashford, Shaw, and also like some Matoma and Estepinian, just can't get through game week 25 without taking free hit. It's absolutely fine and team dependent if you can't. And remember, it's because of the League Cup or the EFL Cup final that we have 4 teams blanking. Newcastle, Manchester United being the heaviest of those sides where our players are. Brighton also and Brentford. So it is difficult maybe to get through 25. I would give you a sort of word of warning. Game week 28 looks like it's going to be quite a big blank game week as well. We won't know which teams will blank exactly yet until the game week 26 because of the FA Cup fixtures. And then later on in the season, we possibly will see 32 where there will definitely be some blank fixtures in there as well. So I'm personally trying to hold on to my free hit. I might take a hit this week in order to get guaranteed 11 players out. I think that's much better, and my free hit will then carry over till next time. But I don't have any Brighton players, so if you do have 2 or 3 Brighton players, for instance, that you want to play in game 26, 27, maybe it's just right for you to do the free hit. So let's go through my free hit side. First of all, I'm going to say first and foremost that I am quite heavily dependent upon those double game week teams. So even though there's a 4 teams blanking, we do have the likes of Arsenal doubling in this week, Liverpool, Wolves and Everton, and I'm definitely going to want 3 Liverpool, 3 Arsenal players in there, and double game week players are just going to be a priority for me over single game week players because these are players as well that could make a difference, 2 bites at the cherry, and a lot of other teams will not have them in their FPL sides. So first and foremost, I'm going to go for Jordan Pickford in goal. He's got Aston Villa at home, then he's got less Arsenal away. Not an easy second fixture. Hopeful for save points in the second fixture. Who knows? They beat Arsenal at home in the first game. I think it's going to be a different case at the Emirates. He's not been spectacular over the season, but he is pretty good for save points. 1.68 is expected conceded. That's actually better, worse rather than what they actually have conceded. 4.4, he's pretty cheap. And overall, this side is quite a cheap side. Budget isn't really anything that we need to worry too much about. 6 points last game, 1 and a 5. He is keeping it. If he comes out with 7 8 points, a clean sheet in that first game would absolutely brilliant. Anything in the Arsenal game, bonus points, even appearance points, just cherry on top. I think Pickford's definitely worth a punt, and I'm not sure there's many other Everton players that I would go for, and I don't want to double up on them either. So in the defence then, I think I have to look at those double game week players more than anyone else. So bearing that in mind, Zinchenko comes in there for Arsenal. Scored in the last game, 0.16, doesn't offer a huge amount of attacking threat, it's got to be said. He did score in the last game, but you can't expect him to pull those sort of goals out of the bag. 5.1, home to Everton second fixture, away at Leicester. Like I said, his XGR doesn't really come up to the levels of Trippier, Robertson, James. If he moves into midfield, you could find he's a bit more of an attacking threat. But for that reason, of the defensive players that Arsenal have got, I just think Zinchenko has to be the pick of them. Alongside Zinchenko, not a player that we thought we'd be looking at a few weeks ago, but I'm definitely looking at bringing him in this week. 7.3, Alexander-Arnold, decent fixtures, Palace away, Wolves at home. So attacking on his day, just can't keep the clean sheets. But maybe with Van Dijk back now, maybe that's going to help a little bit as well. 0.4, still right up there, 12 points last game, 6 before that. Are Liverpool turning the corner? Those are 2 decent fixtures. Trent has got to come in. Could go Robertson. Just worry about how Tsimikas might eat into his time. Alexander-Arnold, he looks pretty nailed in that side to me. So for 7.3, I've got the money. I don't mind paying it for putting him on a free hit. Kyle Walker then, away at Bournemouth. Not many single game week players in this side, but if there was any single game week players that I do want, I'm going to target Man City away at Bournemouth. Walker, playing pretty regularly. I think out of all the players in that Man City side, I think I've got to go for Walker. 0.04 doesn't offer a lot going forward, and he, as of yet, just constantly conceding goals. Their defence still remains joint second best in this division, along with Arsenal. Newcastle quite a bit ahead of him, but 4.8, decent price, not much attacking threat, but there isn't many in that Man City side that have a good attacking threat or an underlying stat that is guaranteed to play. I think Walker, just for that guaranteed minutes, I think I've got to bring him in. And then finally, another double game week player. Fixtures aren't great. Kilman at 4.4. Again, not much going forward. It looks like he's got that spot alongside Dawson. I could have gone Dawson. Just worried, 2 games in a week. Will they give him both games, or will Collins come in? That's something I'm just a little bit unsure of and wavers me against him. Fulham away, Liverpool away, Kilman. It's that, or go for another maybe Everton defender, which you could do, but I'm gonna side with Kilman on this one. So he comes into defence. Midfield have to have Mo Salah, 0.75. The underlying stats still look good. Points wise, he's got a couple of goals in the last couple of games. That's really good. Obviously scored against Real Madrid as well. 12.6. Got the money. 2 green fixtures. He has to come in. If you want to double up and go with Gakpo or maybe someone Bacicic in midfield, I'd rather go Gakpo, I think, but Salah tops them all on pens. Underlying stats still look so good. He's still much better Saka, Fernandes, De Bruyne. I think by his own high standards, he's just falling short of what he's done previously. And he is the most expensive player in the game, so let's not forget that. But I think for a double game week like this, he would get my captain's armband, and I think he has to just be in any free hit side that you bring in. Talking of which, I think another player you have to have in the side is Bukayo Saka. 2 decent fixtures. Underlying stats look good. Just a bit of a no-brainer. He has to. He's on pens for Arsenal. He's nailed in that side. Underlying stats don't look good. You could go Odegaard. I just think for the penalties, maybe I'd prefer to go Saka, so attack him. But I don't think it'd be a bad decision to go Odegaard. Other than that, I think he has to come into that midfield. So those are your 2. You're playing with a 4-3-3 formation. Saka is your second one into midfield. And then it was Mahrez, but I've changed one. I just think Grealish possibly is just a better shout at the minute in terms of minutes. Mahrez scored in midweek against Leipzig, so maybe that changes it a little bit. Grealish has played the last 6 games, I think, now. Returning in the last 3 years, actually looks good. As you can see, 5.85 is decent. 6.8, he is a bit cheaper, but money isn't particularly an object in this free hit. If you wanted to take the punt on Mahrez, and if I think I knew both were playing, I think I would go Mahrez, especially knowing he's on penalties now. But I feel like Grealish is just a little bit more likely to start given recent form, but it is always a risk. But Grealish will just pip it for me at the moment. 6.8, he comes in. Underlying stats still look really good. Only De Bruyne pepping him, and it just can't fit De Bruyne in with the money. And also there's a yellow flag up at the moment, so there's a little bit of doubt about whether De Bruyne will be fit for the weekend. Up front, I'm not going to dwell on it. Haaland, blank last game, 6 points before that, got an assist before that. Still incredible stats over the season. Expected goal involvement over 1. Not many people with the amount of games under their belt that Haaland has, it can keep that up. So he absolutely comes into the side. If you want to captain away at Bournemouth, I don't think that would be a disastrous decision, but I'm always going to go for a double game week player over a single. So Haaland wouldn't get the armband for me. And Nketiah goes up front at 6.8. He's got good underlying stats. I'm not massively keen on 6.8, but again, a double game week, he has to come priority over other players, and I just don't see any better options than him. He is chipping in, and his underlying stats are good. He just seems like he has wasted. So wasted is a bit harsh. He's been a little bit. Opportunities have passed him by that you would possibly have expected someone like Jesus to put away. So that is a little bit of a worry, but I guess it would be more worrying if he wasn't getting those opportunities, and those underlying stats still look good. And then finally, up front, I think for a Liverpool point of view, his minutes may get managed now that Jota's back, possibly as well Gakpo playing down the middle, but I would have to go Darwin Núñez. His underlying stats just look brilliant again, scored last couple of games. He makes up that last spot, and that would be hopefully my full starting 11. So if we look at that and we add what we've got on the bench, we've got Williams, Colbeck, De Silva, Everson. I just don't expect any players to really off the bench come into this side, because most of these players, bar 3, are all double game week players. But possibly Williams would have to come in, or Colbeck or De Silva. You've got a little bit of money, so you could upgrade one of those if you wanted to. In terms of fixtures, look at those amount of green fixtures. Looks really nice. If you wanted to, you could possibly take out Kilman and go Mikalenko. You could have someone like him on the bench just in case one of those Man City players doesn't play. Other than that, I'm not really sure. You could go Tarkowski, someone like that. Bueno, but I'm not sure he's really got the minutes either. And like we've said, we've already talked about Mahrez, but those are the number of options that we've got. That's it for this one then. Let me know in the comments below if you are intending to free hit in Game Week 25. And if so, who are your essential players for bringing in? Or when are you going to free hit? Is it in the future or have you used your chip already? Let me know in the comments below. Love to hear from you. In the meantime, we'll come back at you with a team selection before the deadline. So if I don't see you back soon, take care. Speak to you soon.